Yay, we are live. That's
Yay!
awesome. So it is awesome to have you, Ashwini. So hello, everyone. I'm just gonna wait for a few, maybe a minute or so till we have more people join us live, and super excited for this talk. I think it's been a long since I've had you for an interview, maybe last year.
Last November, I suppose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's been a while since we worked together. So this is awesome to have you back. So for everyone that's watching us live, if you are watching this live, um, just say a hi so we know you're here. If you are watching this as a replay, you can put a hashtag replay. I can see some people go like log in and they can see us finally. So please say a quick hi and super excited for this one today. So this is a really important topic that nobody talks about. We just talk about how to get there, how to get healthy, and how to heal, but we don't talk about what's involved in the healing process or the mindset of it. So I'm super excited to have our expert today, and that's my very good friend Ashwini Chube. She's a personal growth coach, she's a motivational speaker, she's a life transformation trainer, wellness spiritual teacher, access consciousness, bars facilitator, Reiki Grandmaster. I could go on and on talking about her. But she's also a very good friend of mine. We've been connected with each other since grade 8. So it's really awesome to know you for such a long time and see your work and just super happy to see you. Hello, Shane. So Shane has logged on from YouTube, and Aksa's here as well. Hello, Shane. Hi, Aksa. For everybody else, if you are here, please say a quick hi. And if you have questions about the mindset of healing, just let us know. And Ashwini will answer all the questions for you. Even if you watch this as a replay, post your questions, and your questions will be answered for sure. So welcome, Ashwini. It's so awesome to have you
Thank
here.
you, Manjiri. Thank you so much for the warm welcome and the lovely introduction. It's a pleasure and an honor to be live here and to meet all of you. So, a very warm hi to all of you who are watching me, and thank you for joining in the live. And thank you, Manjiri, for this lovely
You're,
opportunity.
you're most welcome. It's my pleasure. So let's get started. It's such an
Sure.
important topic, right? We're talking about the mindset of healing. And what exactly is the mindset of healing? Let me get started with that. I know it's a very complex question I'm throwing at you right at the beginning, but what exactly should we know about our mindset? Or is there a specific mindset for healing, like how we talk about a growth mindset or an entrepreneur mindset? So, is there a specific mindset required for healing?
Okay, so I will put it in very simple words, and this is one thing which I have believed about healing, which is I say focus on the vision and trust the process, because that eventually is something which gets us healed, because our body, it is full of atoms and molecules. We are a being of energy vibrating in this universe, and our body is composed of atoms, molecules. Each atom and molecule has the power to change, because energy is constantly moving, we are constantly vibrating, we are constantly changing. And if we trust that we can be healed, our body is a smart chap, because our body, mind, soul, and emotions, everything is very much connected to each other. So the basic thing when I talk about, as a whether as a Reiki master, or as just an energy practitioner, when as a personal coach I talk about healing, I simply say focus on where you want to be, focus on what you want to achieve, and trust the process and take single step at a time. That is in a nutshell what healing is all about. Because most of the times when we look at healing, we, in today's 21st century, in the year 2020, we only look at the physical aspect.
Mhm.
But there are more layers to healing than just the physical aspect. Physical aspect is definitely one part of it, and we definitely need to look at it. But along with it, it's
And
absolutely important to understand that it's not just body which requires healing, but it occurs at four different levels. Each level is connected to each other. And when that's the reason, when we look at holistic healing, whether it is Reiki or whether it is any other healing modality and any other energy modality, the reason I'm talking about energy modalities is, of course, because I am an energy practitioner and a Reiki master. And when I look at healing for any of any of the candidates, any of my clients, I always tell them, so what is it that you want to achieve? And they say, okay, this is what I want to achieve, but my recent reports say that it's not possible because I have reached this, and they tell me about all the limitations which have been put in their mind. And then I tell them that, okay, well, you have a diagnosis, this is what is happening, but you can always go ahead of that and heal yourself because your body is smart. And
Mhm.
there have been miracles, Manjiri. There have been so many miracles which I have seen, not just in my clients, but I've also read about, I've also spoken to my colleagues, and people have created miraculous recovery. There are two people having this same physical condition, yet one person recovers very fast and the other
Yeah.
one doesn't.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah.
And that is exactly what we are going to talk about today in the mindset of healing. It
Yeah.
is because when
Yeah.
you believe
Yeah.
and you trust the process
Yeah.
and you go step by step and you believe you will achieve it, focused on the vision, you are bound to get there.
That's a very good point you said, because last year I was at a party in Toronto and I was introduced to one of the nurses who works in oncology department in the cancer ward where people were going through therapies. And that's the one thing she said, and it still struck me that, I see all kinds of people, but the people who know are going to make it are the ones who make it. The people
Beautiful.
who lose hope, the people who succumb to the diagnosis never make it, right? And it was a little hard hitting, but it was like so much truth in there, right? And it is someone who's seen that day in, day out. And I'm
Yes.
sure you see lots of conditions, that people are like, oh, this is the end of the world, and it's not. So the mindset is extremely important, and that's what we're going to talk about. So, what are the different levels of healing? You mentioned healing occurs at different levels, and people often focus on physical level.
Yes.
What are some different levels of healing?
All right. So when I look at healing, or where any alternative medicine, whether it is alternative energy medicine or alternative medicine practitioner, we always look at different levels. So of course the physical aspect is important because the physical aspect gives us proof. Physical is something which we see,
Yeah,
right? But along with it, there are emotions,
yeah.
there is your mind or the mental state, and there is spirit. Although when we learn aura, we learn a lot more layers of aura, but to keep it very, very simple, I look at these four levels.
Okay.
Now, if you're aware, in our ancient Indian yoga and chakra system, we talk about seven chakras which form a part of your energetic body, and
Yeah,
each chakra represents something which your body is directly related to.
yeah.
If we look at koshas again, we look at the Annamay Kosh and Manomay Kosh and Pranamay Kosh and all the five koshas, we look at it. Seven chakras, five koshas. We also look at the nadis. So, this is what in energy we look at. But to keep it simple, I will say that your physical body is what you are, what you see visibly. But when you meet some person, you say, wow, I really liked your energy. Sometimes we just say that. So what is it that we like about that person? So we like the other levels of their energy body, which we cannot physically see with our eyes, but which we feel it with our energy body.
Hmm.
Now let us look at the second body, which is the emotional body. Emotional body is the body where we have all the emotions which are stored. What are emotions? Emotions could range from anything from happiness, joy, to despair, sadness, grief. There could be anger, there could be fear, there could be jealousy. These are the emotions which we day in, day out feel. And Manjiri, it is such a shame in today's world that people have numbed their emotions.
Yeah.
Because I remember around 6, 7 years ago when I was doing a corporate job, and where there was something which was going on at work and we missed a deadline, and I was talking to one of my colleagues and I was almost about to break down there because I was not happy with the way I had performed. And my colleague said, why are you getting emotional? There is nothing to get emotional. But that emotions were a proof of me being human, about me not feeling good about the work which didn't go well.
Yeah.
Of course, at that time, I felt, oh, is it wrong if I'm showing emotions? Because everyone there was sitting like a stone, and
Yeah.
there I was holding a tissue in my hand and trying not to make it obvious that I was not feeling good about the whole work thing happening, which made me question what are emotions. A
Hmm.
few years down the line, after I started studying energy medicine, practicing it, I realized that emotions are a part of us what make us human. And emotions are the next thing what we see after our physical body. So you right now, when you see my physical body, when I smile, you see that I'm feeling joyful. If I'm not feeling good enough, you would see that probably I'm crying, or probably I'm feeling angry. Probably we often say that when we are feeling fearful, oh, I think I have frozen feet, or I'm feeling my legs are shaking, and all those things which we say according to what our emotions are directly showing on our body. And you know how amazing it is that our emotions directly show us what we are creating. Because I remember I had a client who came to me saying that she had a neck issue for a very long time. A young woman around 32, 33 years of age, so not someone who belonged to the senior category, but she had a very stiff neck. And we started talking about, so she said that this is what is happening, this is what is happening, I've tried everything. And I kept on asking her, so how do you feel? And then she started talking about problems, and she started talking about people at her work. And Manjiri, it was so funny that every time she said, oh, my boss is a pain in the neck, oh, my colleagues, they are pain in the neck. And I said, do you see what you are creating? Because you're constantly creating pain in your neck. And she said, Ashwini, I never thought that way.
Yeah.
But our emotions and the way we react to our emotions create those kinds of experiences. At an emotional body level, when you feel a particular emotion, when you feel grief, probably a heart sinks.
Mm-hmm.
And that causes a lot of energy, stuck energy in what we call as the anahata or your heart chakra. And
Mm-hmm.
that is how your emotions directly impact your energy body. Over a period of time, if you carry grief for too long, studies have proven that it manifests as infection in your lungs,
Mm-hmm.
malfunctioning of your lungs. A lot of time when we don't speak out, we don't express ourselves, it shows up as stuck energy in your throat,
Yeah.
which is the Vishuddhi chakra, the throat chakra. On a minor At a minor level, it can be sore throat or pain in the throat. At a very, if it goes on piling up, it can cause issues like thyroid.
Yeah.
There are so much studies about this, and in energy science we study all of this. So at emotional level, a lot of thoughts, a lot of emotions keep on affecting us. Now we go to the next level, which is mental body, which is the body of your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So Rhonda Byrne has said in her book, The Secret, thoughts become things. We have 60,000 thoughts a day. It is difficult to monitor each one of them, but it is okay to not get the right thoughts at the beginning of the day. But we can, over a period of time, train ourselves to think in the manner so that we experience healing. So of course, if you're not feeling well, if you are having like you maybe sprained your leg, and you're you're hurt with that, it's hurting you badly. But if at that point of time, if you're going to continuously keep thinking of, oh, is it going to be there for the rest of my life, it's not going to work. At
Mm-hmm.
that point of time, you have to only focus on you. Your thoughts should be in such a manner that your leg is completely healed. And when you keep on thinking those thoughts, the emotions, the trick is the emotions. Feel good about it. Feel good that the healing is happening. I also tell clients to visualize, if the affected part in light, in green light and golden light, so that the healing occurs. So this is the third level, which is mental level, which is the thoughts. So
Mm-hmm.
we looked at physical body, we looked at emotions, we move one step further to the mental body, and finally we move towards the spiritual body. Now, what is the spiritual body? The spiritual body is, I would say, the higher consciousness. We also call it our higher self. And that's the reason why spiritual healings and faith healings work, is because somewhere where we have a high level of faith,
Mm-hmm.
we are going to talk about how when we trust the universe, because that is such an important factor in healing. Because you could do everything, but if you don't trust the universe, it's not going to work. Because if
Yeah.
you're not trusting, your thoughts will be negative, you will have emotions which will stoop you down, and your physical body will suffer. The spiritual body is your higher self, which connects you to the soul of the universe. um, Studies have proven that when you spiritually start raising your vibrations, that causes a lot of positive thoughts. People tell me time and time out that I am suffering from a lot of negative thoughts. What do? I tell them raise their vibrations. So when you're doing that, your spiritual body starts becoming even more better. When your spiritual body starts raising its consciousness, your mental body or your thoughts starts changing, your emotions will be more smooth, will be better, and then your physical body will slowly and gradually start healing. So these are the four levels. Although, you might have a diagnosis, and that diagnosis might say your physical body is not doing well. But what if you start improving your emotional body, your mental body, and your spiritual body, and then automatically your physical body has to raise to that level. Of course, and I always tell my clients that keep doing the treatment. Whatever treatment you're taking from your doctors, do not stop it, because we as Reiki practitioners never advise patients to stop the treatment. We always tell them take it. But over a period of time, they tell me that the doctor has reduced my dosage. From 3 tablets a day, I came to 2 tablets. Slowly, I came to 1 tablet. And now my doctor is telling me, we'll keep you under an observation. If things go well, the tablet might just go off. And this is what they have achieved. And this is what they have achieved by their mindset of healing, because they worked on all four levels and they helped themselves heal.
See, and that is beautiful, like the one thing I see with lots of my clients is, they
Yeah.
come and they've tried everything and nothing has worked before. And that's why they're attaching this baggage as well, when you talk about
Yes.
healing happens at different levels, and also emotions are such an important event when
Absolutely.
go through a certain thing, and every day you're a new person is what I like to
Yeah.
say, like you're
Of
the same
course.
person, but still, the environment, like nothing is the same when it's a brand new day, your environment changes, your thoughts could change, like life just changes, right? So when you associate all the baggage from the past, specifically like with weight loss, because that's the one thing
Yes.
everybody wants to achieve, weight loss. And at that time you get fixated on the problem that this hasn't worked, and then sometimes you put in everything to not make it work because you're so focused on what's not
Absolutely.
worked, right? So this is really important to understand that your mind, emotions, and we're not talking about stopping your medications or um,
Absolutely.
just focusing, closing your eyes and just wanting to heal and nothing else. Like you have to do the
Correct.
work as well, right? So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
perfect.
So,
So when, like,
yeah,
sorry, the question I have is, when I see clients, who are like, oh, I've done everything and nothing has worked, nothing has
right.
worked. So why do some people have so much resistance, to healing, or what creates that because they are in their own path, they're creating their own obstacles.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, this is such an important point which I talk about, which is the first thing is their intention. Because I always tell clients, keep your intention. And it's so amazing, Manjiri. In the beginning, they feel that it's not possible, and their intentions are very, very weak intentions. They feel, okay, I feel at least I should be able to achieve this. I should be able to achieve this. But then I ask them, what is it that you truly want? And
Hmm.
at that time, they say, I really want to achieve this with my health, or whether it is with their career or personal life. This applies to all aspects of life. Of course, we are talking about health here. But most of the times, they believe that something is not possible for them.
Yeah.
Okay, because they have heard about it. Also, people do a lot of reading on the internet, and they read about, yes, they Google it and they read terrible things which have happened to people, and then they say, "Oh, will this also happen to me?" And I say, "No, if you don't intend to, it will not, because
Yeah.
everyone is different, every case is different, and most important, keep your intention strong." So intention is very important. So people begin with a weak intention. They feel, okay, maybe I want to, achieve this level of healing. Then when you start, cleaning them of their resistances and their beliefs, what I call as limiting beliefs, they slowly start seeing that their intentions can be even stronger.
Yeah.
And then they say, I want to get completely rid of this. I don't want this issue to happen at all.
Hmm.
So once they set the strong intention, they're already on the path, because now the intention they have given it to the universe. The law of attraction says that your thoughts are manifesting every single moment. I also tell them to visualize. I tell them, for example, I had a client who was having an injury on the feet, and she was a dancer, so she didn't want to let it go worse. She was taking everything, so I told her, please take all possible treatments, and in addition to that, we will go for energy healing. And I told her constantly to visualize herself dancing perfectly well, to keep herself seeing herself in light, to see that she is doing everything whatever she used to before the injury. And initially, she was a bit resistant. Now, where did this resistance come from? A, her own experience, what she said it's coming from my own experience because I'm not feeling well yet. The second thing was people around her.
Mhm.
So she had these friends who used to tell her that, oh, this will take minimum 2 to 3 years. It
Yeah.
will not happen. Also, the people who had similar issues, they said that, oh, I took so long and my leg has still not recovered. Why will your recover? Three, of our friend Google sometimes, which gives weird thoughts and weird things, and people self medicate and do a lot of things. There was a lot of fear which was in her mind, which we had to release. Fear comes from your inner conditioning sometimes, where you believe that some things have happened in the past which make her believe that these things will maybe happen again. If she has not cured in the past, she will not cure in the future. Also, also say that the way your physician is very important. It's very important to have a doctor, whether they are your traditional modern medicine doctors or any alternative medicine doctors, because she fortunately had a doctor who was very encouraging, and he said that, we'll see things will work out very fast. You just concentrate on your recovery. So it was a great boost for her. But there were other people in her, maybe in her family or in a friend circle, who were doctors, who were telling that, oh, this takes very long to heal. Now resistance comes from all these factors, because I always see clients, maybe if they take 5 steps in the direction of their healing, they get pulled down and they come back 3 steps and they are at step 2 steps.
Mhm.
And this is how their journey works. It Healing doesn't occur in a straight line, it occurs in waves, it occurs in circles, it
Mhm.
occurs in spirals. But if you're focused, and in Reiki, we truly believe that healing happens in layers, which
Mhm.
means you peel a layer, a new layer comes up, peel that layer too, another layer might come up. You keep peeling layers, you trust the process, and you hold the intentions. And these are the layers what I call as resistances, because somewhere it's not, I'm really not saying that it's wrong if you have resistances, because we live in a world where there are mixed experiences, mixed people, everyone is operating at their own experiences. So it is natural to have those.
Mhm.
Yet I would say that keep peeling the layers, and the
Mhm.
more layers you peel, the more resistances will let go, and you will reach where you are. The
Mhm.
most important point, when it comes to intention and resistance, it's clarity. You need to be very clear where you want to achieve. And I always give this mantra or this affirmation to my clients. I keep telling them I am duly supported by the universe as I heal. Now, why is this affirmation so important? Because you are trying your best to recover. Sometimes you meet people who will help you. You talk to a colleague and they recommend someone for a second opinion. So it has happened in the past. The person was trying a lot of the physician's medicines were not working, because that person felt he had hit a wall in the healing,
Mhm.
and he was told by his colleague to see another physician in the same. It was like a second opinion, which he readily took. And somehow the physician who was the second OP, who gave the second opinion, was a very positive kind of a person, and he said that, we can work this out. And there was a bit tweaking in his medications and a bit change in the lifestyle, along with Reiki, along with changing diet and all of that, and the person felt better. So when you ask for the universe to support, so I always tell them that I am supported as I do this healing. I always tell them to use this. Maybe you can say it in your own words, in your own language, translate into your mother tongue or whichever language you speak to, so that you constantly keep telling your subconscious mind that you are ready for healing.
Yeah. So, and that's another great point, that I'm supported by the universe because you want to put that faith somewhere. Now, this is the
Absolutely.
one problem that I face with most of my clients. I'll give you examples, because I deal a lot with weight loss and digestive issues.
Yep.
People go on certain diets where
Yep.
person has to give up either cheese, because they're reacting to dairy, or gluten because they're reacting to it.
Yep.
At the same time, they always complain that, oh, but my husband is eating, either chocolates, or he brought me some like muffins or chocolate chip cookies or whatever it is.
I can
And
understand.
even though they think they have this intention, right? Somehow, they start shifting, the blame on the husband, or they feel not supported, right? And that's why their journey doesn't yield a lot of results till they clean up
Yes.
their own acts, or they really try to
Absolutely.
understand. So this is important to understand that you have to support yourself first. You have to ask the universe to support yourself first, and your intention
Absolutely.
to support yourself. Um, yeah, so that's a great
So,
point.
Manjiri, to add to that, I can always say, so I know people who the wife starts a fitness plan or, a healthy eating plan, and the husband soon join her. I have seen this
Yeah,
happen in case of corporate clients. The wife began with a program, but she asked for a support, and the husband could really start supporting her
yeah,
because she now, usually the people close to us, especially our spouses, they reflect what is going on within us,
yeah,
right? Because we are energy beings. The moment I feel I want to cheat, um, where I'm not very clear that I don't want to cheat, my husband will reflect that. But
yeah,
when it comes to, because it's so important, this is what we call as the mirroring effect. Carl Jung talks about this a lot in psychology as well. And I always say that when one person changes, the whole house changes. So rather than this, how about being that change where you begin this and it gets reflected? And for that, you need to have faith in the universe, of course, because if you feel, oh, I'm dieting for 5 weeks, nothing is happening. No, you
mhm,
need to have that faith. And I always, there is this beautiful book by Gabriel Bernstein. Oh, I can just go on talking about that book. The book's name is The Universe Has Your Back. And there is another book by the same author, The Super Attractor. In both of the books, she is mentioned about how you can trust the universe. And when you trust the universe, you ask the universe to support. It's not just about, I trust the universe. Simply say, I ask for the support. So you will automatically meet people who will support you. You'll automatically, I have seen that, I go for maybe a meeting, and at the client's place, the person who talks to me, usually this happens in case of corporate clients, the person who talks to me, maybe their spokesperson or whoever it is, they are someone who are supporting my vision. So I automatically start attracting people in my life who support my vision because I have the intention and I'm trusting the universe. But this simple prayer that I ask the universe for support, and I trust that the universe is giving me support, goes a long way. So, to all our viewers who are watching us today, if you just understand this concept and ask the universe to support it, trust me, you will be given all the possible support, and it will be easy for you, because we don't want to make things difficult, do
mhm,
we really want to make things easy. We want to walk into the change, we want to slowly glide into a change with so much joy. We don't want to make things difficult, and the whole purpose of healing is to glide into what we call as alignment, or what Abraham Hicks, the famous Abraham Hicks, the writer, talks about. So this is Jerry and Esther Hicks. They talk about law of attraction, where Abraham Hicks is the being they channel, and they talk about being in alignment, which means be there with your desires. So if you're focusing on healing, focus, be there. See yourself already healed, and
mhm.
then just look for wonders.
Yeah, yeah, no, and see, prana follows intention as well, where your prana, like where your intention
Absolutely.
is, that's where your life force and everything kind of follows that.
Absolutely.
This is important. Now, I see a lot of clients, they feel stuck is the word, right? Especially with COVID, like everybody, because we feel like kids in our homes or not going out. But even when it comes to health and healing, stuck
Absolutely.
is the word that comes up a lot. And stuck, I know, signifies resistance. So for
It
somebody,
does.
yeah, somebody who's feeling stuck, how to shift that being stuck into, get moving.
All right. So, I'm going to give you a very, very quick tool, which I'm also an access consciousness practitioner and a bars facilitator as well. And I give this tool to most of my clients who feel stuck. So, I always say that when you come to a conclusion, okay, you close it. But when you ask a question, you open the universe. So, I know a lot of people who use the word I'm stuck, and I tell them stop using I'm stuck, because the more you're going to use that word, the more you're going to stuck. The
Yeah.
best question to ask when you feel stuck is either the first question. Now, this question we are asking the universe. And this is whether in form of our thoughts, which means we go in our head and ask these questions to the universe, or even say it loud. We just, when we want a change and when we feel stuck, ask the universe what else is possible.
Hmm.
This is such a powerful question, Manjiri, and this can accelerate healing. The another question is, how can I change this?
Hmm.
And once you ask this question, you will see a lot of things shifting. because we live in a vibrational universe. We were not given these secrets when we were born or when we were growing up. But these tools, these energy tools, whether it is Reiki, whether it is access consciousness, or whether it is any modality you truly believe, they all have tools to get unstuck. So I
Mm.
always tell my clients, and I not just my clients, I tell it to all my family members, to my friends, to everyone who feels stuck in life. I ask them to keep asking this question almost like a mantra,
Mm.
an affirmation. What else is possible? What else is possible? What else is possible which I haven't considered yet?
Mm.
Because especially when it comes to healing and you hit a roadblock or you feel you've hit a wall on the way. Now why when you keep healing, you will hit roadblocks because the reason why you will hit roadblocks is so that you can clear them. Okay, so when you hit a roadblock, ask what else is possible, and you see the roadblock being lifted from your way. And this is experience. I've been using the tools of access consciousness for the last almost 4.5 to 5 years, and I've seen a lot of changes happening. I've given these tools to clients. I've done these. Of course, right now we are not meeting clients in person, but otherwise, when clients used to come face to face, while doing their healing, we have used these tools, and we
Wow.
have seen the resistance just getting lifted. And they ask they tell me, this was a miracle. I just kept asking what else is possible, and people have got everything from their stuck money to something which totally changed. Maybe they were not feeling good and they kept on using these tools, and the pain in the body vanished. A lot of things have changed, and this is miracle because the course in miracle says that miracles are normal. They are absolutely normal for all of us to occur, and it's we and our resistances which stop them.
Hmm. Yeah, no, that makes so much sense, That does make so much sense. So just ask yourself, what else is possible, or
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah, in any given situation, and then your brain starts looking out from answers, from
Oh,
simple science perspective for those who are wondering what the hell are we talking about, energy, because there are people who don't believe in energy medicine and all that.
absolutely.
At
And
the
it is
same,
very normal.
yeah,
And because Manjini, before I come from a finance background. I am someone who has worked in investment banking in a complete place where I had no clue of what this all is. And but I always say that try it before you believe it. Because for
yeah,
me, I had experiences and then my belief strengthened.
yeah,
And it's very, for any of our viewers who are watching us who don't believe in energy, or rather who have never experienced it. See, it's normal if you're not experienced something to not believe it. So
yeah,
it's okay. But when you start experiencing miracles, that is the time you start believing.
yeah,
Right? So I always tell people that give it a shot. You have nothing to lose.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
why
and
not create miracles?
yeah, and even something simple is, you start believing in yourself. If you start believing in yourself, you're really believing in the energy of your being, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
And most important is when we start believing, we start flowing with the process. We start flowing with healing.
yeah,
The moment we are not believing it, we are creating a resistance, and the resistance is just going to delay it. And
mhm,
right now, what with the whole COVID-19 scenario, the world has only manifested this situation so that we all can go deep within ourselves and we
yeah,
can look at what is it that we truly are, what is it that we truly desire.
yeah.
So I
So,
keep telling people that use this time for your own self. Because when this situation is going to end, we all are going to go out in the world and a lot of things have changed. But just keep the learnings with you.
yeah, yeah, no, for sure. Everything has, changed. And see, some people, like, you can make the best of it, or you can make the worst of it, like everything else. So it's again the
So true,
mindset,
Manjiri.
right? It's again the mindset that we're talking
Absolutely.
about, whether it's the health or the healing, or even with COVID, a lot of people have been like really struggling with it, and which is really real too, right? But
Yes.
at the same time, a few of people have decided to change their ways. I started showing up a lot, and it's really helping me with my practice, with my mission of Ayurveda. So you also have to make that decision on how do you change now. When people are
Absolutely.
stuck, they don't want to take action, right? But they're looking to take action. So an example is, oh, I want to lose weight, but I'm not eating right because, I'm kind of something happens, and then we make excuses, right? So from the start, after asking questions, how do you proceed into taking the right actions?
Absolutely. And that is the most important part because, yes, intention, yes, we have the intention, but if you're not going to take actions, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So I always say manifestation is a delicate balance between taking action and surrender.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we are going to talk about what both things mean.
Okay.
Taking action is, I always say, take an inspired action. Don't take action from a very fearful, panicky state. In fact, when
Mm-hmm.
you are under panic, first calm down, change your breathing. Because from the state of panic, you'll never be able to understand what is it that you truly want to do. But when you feel safe, when you are in a good space, take action. What is take action? Take actions. Now let us take the example of what you spoke about losing weight.
Mm-hmm.
People are aware that what they are supposed to do, but they are still not doing it. Why are they still not doing it? The first case is resistance. Now where does resistance come from? The resistance comes from, as I said, I gave you all the factors, other people's thoughts, and what you read in the news, what you see people doing, your own experiences, the environment, and all that. But there is one more element to not taking action, which is I call as lack of self discipline. Okay.
Guilty.
Yes, yes.
Guilty.
Okay, so it's okay to acknowledge because yes, even I do that sometimes. I keep talking about self-discipline to my clients, and there have been days, let me admit here on camera, that even I haven't followed it. There are days I completely do not follow it, but yes, whenever I can, I make it a point to do it. There is a beautiful audio book available on YouTube if anyone wants to read, or audio read or audio listen to. It is called as the neuropsychology of self-discipline.
Oh, I
It's an
need that.
audio book. It's a beautiful book, and I have heard the book. Earlier, whenever I used to travel for work, and whenever I used to be stuck in the traffic jam, I used to keep on listening to that audio book. But I do listen to that book a lot because that makes me understand a very important aspect of whether it is healing or whether it is manifestation. The biggest love you can do for yourself, what we hear a lot about what self love is, and we see a lot of coaches talking about self love, but the kindest thing you can do to yourself is self discipline. Now the book says, or right, rather the audio says that when the word discipline, when we hear of discipline, we can only think of a strict school teacher or a headmaster who is asking you to do a certain things, or maybe one of our parents who's asking us to study or something like that. But no, that's not discipline. Discipline, actually, the people who are disciplined are the ones who achieve what they truly want in life.
Mm-hmm.
Because many times we sacrifice um, our our joy for momentary pleasures. I
Yeah.
repeat, we look at pleasure more than we look at joy. Self
Yeah.
discipline is when you are sacrificing the joy so that you can have, sacrificing the pleasure, I'm sorry, so that you can have the joy. So, joy is a longer state of peace and calm. Pleasure is something which you have used to numb yourself with,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Binge eating of a entire set of fried burger and fries, and having a lot of beer and a lot of alcohol is pleasure. It's not joy.
Yeah.
So when someone, I ask someone what gives you joy, they say, "Oh, I love to eat French fries." I say,
Mm.
"No, that's not joy. That's pleasure. It is you are numbing yourself temporarily by eating it."
Yeah.
So there is no harm in eating a fry. But if you have two fries, if you like it, it's good. But
Yeah.
if you're going to have 100, then you are going to have a lot of issues in your body. And
Yeah.
you know you're not supposed to eat it, yet you eat it. That
Yeah.
is exactly where self-discipline comes into picture.
Mm-hmm.
Addiction to sugar, because I have been talking a lot about sugar, how it impacts our stamina, and how it, like, I used to be someone who used to eat a lot of sugar. From 2018 to almost end of 2019, I had completely cut it off. um, Today at this point I avoid as much as possible, but I'm admitting that I'm not completely off sugar, which I was before.
Mm-hmm.
I used to feel a change immediately when I used to consume sugar. My stamina used to drop down. When I used to exercise, I used to feel that. And so by sugar, I mean a lot of processed, white processed sugar. Naturally, having fruits and every food which is good for your health is always good. I'm not telling you to stop that. And of course, I did it with a registered nutritionist who actually looked at what I was eating, and she was monitoring it. So, of course, if you're listening to this, do not take any dietary things without help from any nutritionist, or, like someone like Manjiri can probably guide you. The reason I'm talking about this is self discipline can really take you or break you. The people who are successful, there are so many people who want to achieve, right? But the ones who really achieve are the ones who have that self discipline. And I saw this in one of the television. There was an interview of a very senior actress who still looks, who is 60 plus and who still looks as if she's 40. And they asked her, "Ma'am, what do you do for to maintain yourself?" And she said one thing which really hit me hard. She said, "We all know what are we supposed to do to look good and to look young. I follow everything. You also know what you need to do. You know it as well, but I follow it and you don't follow it."
Yeah.
So the whole aim of, I would say, for any healing, the whole aim is self discipline. And the best way to, you would ask me how to self discipline, because that's the next question. And I keep a diary or a journal with me. This was my 2020 planner, which of course I had planned a lot of things. A lot of things went haywire, but I then slowly started shifting to online sessions and a lot of things. But I do write in this diary what I really need to do. I have a lot of post-its all over my office place. I write about what am I supposed to do. So yes, I do not follow it 100%. Let me completely admit that I'm human, because the last thing what we can do is to self criticize when we do not have the self discipline, because
Mhm.
self criticism is one of the most poisonous things what we do to ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Self criticism is the worst and the most poisonous thing what we do to ourselves, because self discipline is beautiful. Self criticism, if you don't follow that thing, is more toxic. Criticism can be the worst thing you can do. So yes, do look at self discipline. Start taking steps. Somewhere you have to have that inner voice which
Mhm.
will tell you that you have to inculcate self discipline. Start with something very small. Increase
Mhm.
from 1 to 2, increase from 2 to 3. Maybe begin with consuming more water. The second thing what you can do is, maybe change one thing in your diet.
Yeah.
Maybe then slowly start exercising. Maybe exercise initially for half an hour. Let it go to 1 hour, slowly and gradually. Start doing things slowly and keep a track.
Mhm.
Reward yourself for everything you did, and don't beat yourself up for what you didn't do, but definitely look at it as something which will help you improve on yourself. I would not call it improvement. I would call it growth, because somewhere we all are different. Each one of us is different. If we compare ourselves to the woman on the poster who looks completely different, we are never going to feel happy,
Yeah.
and we do not know how much they are photoshopped.
Yeah.
So the first step is, when you see in the mirror, that is you.
Yeah.
Love that body. That body has been putting up with you all these years. You have gone through so much. You have stuffed a lot of junk in you. You haven't drank enough water. Acknowledge and thank that body for what it is. Second step, create a schedule. Create a self-discipline schedule for you. See to it that you'll start following it. Do not criticize.
Mhm.
And somewhere, trust.
Mhm.
Trust the universe. I keep talking about trusting the universe. I can go on and on talking about what is trusting the universe and what is surrendering to the higher power actually means. And I think in healing, in the mindset of healing, that is one of the biggest foundations of this process, is having trust in the process,
How
because
do
healing
you,
happens in, yeah, I'm
how,
sorry.
how do you surrender for someone, like there sometimes you're fighting situations which are,
Yes.
like I say, they're like false battles or they're not even your battles. An
Right.
example is COVID itself, right? Everybody was trying to fight COVID, which you can't really fight yourself unless you're like a frontline worker or you're really doing something constructive. But sitting at home and just wanting to the virus to die, or like just getting really worked up about it, frustrated with it. You can't, it doesn't really help. Like it's not your battle to fight. So how do you understand
Absolutely.
when to let it go? And
Sure.
yeah.
And this is a very good question, because I'm sure a lot of us who are watching us live are definitely feeling this. Well, all I can say is, first and foremost, we have to somewhere to be in allowance of what is happening in the world,
Yeah.
because the more we try to fight, the more we are creating issues within us. So
Yeah.
okay, be in allowance. Understand that there is a situation which is happening in the world right
Yeah.
now, at this moment, today, when we are sitting on 5th of September 2020. We are not able to yet fight it or change it. So be in awareness that this is the situation which has happened. Secondly, I always say make that connection within yourself, because the fear comes from a disconnect we have within ourselves. The whole concept of having panic attacks, of having, a lot of anxious times. We have family who goes out and we feel people will be exposed, and all of those thoughts coming to our head. Connect to yourself. What do I mean by connect to yourself? Connect to that part of you which feels afraid. And at that point of time, I would recommend something which always works for me, which is a prayer.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have any faith, you could be spiritual, you could be non-spiritual, you could be religious, you could be atheist. But when we pray, we shift the vibration.
Mm-hmm.
For to say a prayer, you don't have to read the religious text, or you don't need to have any prayer by hearted, because religion has, of course, but of course if you know the prayers, you can chant them. But for me, prayer is when I simply light a lamp or a candle,
Mm-hmm.
and I connect to that part of me which I feel is simply say that, whichever Lord I believe in, I think of them, whichever God I believe in, the deity I believe in,
Mm-hmm.
I simply say that I'm having these feelings,
Yeah.
I'm having these emotions. I surrender, I surrender these thoughts, feelings, emotions to the universe. I
Mm-hmm.
know there is a bigger plan, and I know there is a bigger power which is higher than me, which is taking care of all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I trust that power. Of course, Manjiri, it's not going to be an overnight process. Building trust requires daily prayer too. And
Yeah.
that's why I always say create a spiritual practice, because get on a yoga mat, get in your prayer position, get in a prayer room, whatever is that you believe in it. Everyone will have a different way of prayer. This is what I have believed in, but everyone will yet have a different way to pray. So
Mm-hmm.
connect to that part of you and ask for the divine support.
Yeah.
The people who are happiest in today's situations are the one who are praying regularly, who are connecting to that divine source, because our life is a mixture of what we are manifesting by our thoughts, by our actions, and what the world or what the universe has its own plan for. And the place where they merge is where we find infinite joy.
Yeah.
So when we say it is something more than what I am doing, it
Mm-hmm.
will definitely, we know that there is a higher power, and that higher power is with us. Connect to that power. The reason why there are problems is we have disconnected to that power. We have taken everything in our hands. The best example I can give is, imagine you have a child who is just coming from a preschool, and the moment the child sees that, whether its parent, one of its parent goes to pick that child up at the preschool, the child feels a sense of relief, because it trusts that the parent will take it back home.
Mm-hmm.
So we are that child, and the universe is our, universe. You call it universe, you call it God, you call it divine. We are always supported, and the healing mindset revolves around this whole trust and support. So at this point of time, we just need to build that trust. And as you said, it's very difficult to surrender to the universe, to let go. So
Mm-hmm.
surrender doesn't mean give up, surrender doesn't mean give in. Surrender means trusting that whatever is happening at the right place at the right time. We are running with the clock. We
Mm-hmm.
want to achieve things by 30, by 40, by 50. We want to have everything, but we run so much with the clock. But know that whatever is happening in a divine timing. So many people wanted to travel to places in 2020, it didn't happen. But if you have that intention, sooner or later that will happen. Trust the universe, surrender to the higher power. Whether it is traveling, whether it is healing, whether it is manifesting abundance, everything has a divine timing. And all I can say is the more you trust, the more you will flow, and the faster you will heal, and the easier things will be.
Yeah, everything has to be with ease. No, I agree. No, thank you so much. That was really, really, really
Pleasure,
informative.
Manjiri.
Thank you so much. And I'm sure, a lot of our listeners have, gained a lot of understanding about what to do in certain situations, you know. So thanks, Mohan, for being here. I know you're watching on YouTube. So thank you all. If you have any questions at all, you know, feel free to post them in the comment section. Feel free to connect with Ashwini, right? She's my
Happy to
very,
connect to you all, friends. It
yeah.
would be lovely.
So you can find, you know, all her information on everywhere I've posted. You know, I've posted right on the video. So you can connect with her on her website. You can also join her group Unicorn University, where she does a lot of amazing talks and she's doing lots of events as well. So feel free to get in touch with her. And if you have trouble connecting, just let me know and I'll make sure I pass on the message. So thank you once again.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Manjiri. Thank you to all our viewers for watching this and for being great audience. Thank you so much and looking forward to connect to you all.
Yeah. Thanks. It'll be a pleasure to have you back once again. So Akshay,
Lovely,
she had
same.
one of the best lectures. She absolutely loved it. We have two
Thank
more
you.
people from the Facebook group. On StreamYard, you know, I can't really see who's commenting, so it just shows me as a Facebook user. But because we're getting such good feedback, I'm just gonna quickly go into my group and check out who's, you
Sure,
know,
thank you.
here just to say a quick hi. But thank you. This was, you know, really important because see, a lot of the times, you know, people are like, oh, I want to heal, I want to heal, I want to heal, but and then I'm not, right? And this is probably why you're not healing because you don't have your mindset in place, or you know,
Absolutely.
you're working against it. So on one side, you might be doing everything in your power to really help you, you know, and on the other side you could totally be sabotaging all your efforts by having the wrong mindset. So that's, so Sheetal is here, Isha is here as well, and they both absolutely love the talk. So thank you
Thank you,
once
Sheetal Isha. Thank you so much.
again. And for everyone, I will see you next week. I haven't decided on the expert for next Saturday, which I'll be deciding soon. Next week is the Ayurveda dosha series. So for nutrition series, I'm going to talk about the diet for balancing vata, diet for balancing pitta, diet for balancing kapha. We have a new fur baby that's around here somewhere.
Wow.
So I'll see you all soon. Thanks. Uh,
Thanks, Manjiri.
okay, Mugdha said it was really helpful for a person who spends hours in the bed on the couch. Get out of the couch.
And
Tell
guys, you all can listen to this audio book, The Neuropsychology of Self Discipline. It's a 4 hour audio. I think you can listen it in parts, but I've heard it 3 times till now, and every time I hear it, I get new insights. So, to everyone who is struggling with self discipline, please, please, I request you all to do it.
oh, I'm going to buy the book right away. Thank you.
Oh, I'm not sure if the book is available because I tried looking for it. So if you do let me know. But the
Okay.
audiobook is wonderful.
Okay.
So
I'll get the audiobook. Okay. Oh, see my, that's what's going on here.
oh, hello. We have furry friends as well who are the
I
part of this session.
Okay, okay, I'm gonna laugh. Are ho, are ho.